Hi there. My name is Jagoda and welcome to the podcast How Did We Get Here? This is the intro episode, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself and what this podcast is going to be about. It is possible that you already know me because I've advertised this podcast somewhere on social media, but I believe that even if you know me, you might learn more about me through this podcast if you're curious. If you're not, that's totally okay. So first, this podcast is my personal project. I'm doing it because I find that sometimes I have interesting conversations with people and I like to capture them. But more importantly, I feel like as a society, it would be so amazing if we could normalize so many different kind of deep and honest and authentic conversations. I sometimes find that it is difficult for me to have them with some people, and not necessarily because those people wouldn't like them, but for whatever reason we've grown up not always feeling comfortable or not really gaining this ability easily to have those conversations. I know that for me, communication was a struggle for most of my life. And even now, what you'll see in those podcast episodes, that my communication is far from perfect. So another reason why I'm doing this is because I want to see if throughout this project, I could improve the way I speak to people. And by improve, I don't mean I'm going to try to follow a recipe for the perfect conversation, because that's not the case. To me, authenticity is very important and I want to be able to stay myself. But I know my way of talking can be a lot. It can be loud and can be chaotic. But most importantly, this doesn't really matter in terms of making connections. It does a little bit because it depends on if the other person is receptive to my personality or not. But you'll find that my guests, they've agreed to be in the podcast, so clearly they're open enough to the conversation. Anyway, to give you a little bit of background about who I am. So as I've mentioned, my name is Jagoda. I am Polish. I am in my 30s, and I have spent first 21 years of my life in Poland, after which I've moved to Australia, and I lived there for 11 years. I only left Australia last year, which was March 2025. And since then, I have been traveling. So by traveling, I mean my lifestyle has changed into very remote. Some people would, I guess, call it digital nomad lifestyle. So I work remotely, but I move locations. I normally stay in different countries, different places for a month or so. In this case, right now, I am in Spain currently while I'm recording this intro, and I've been staying here for a little bit longer. So that's essentially like a very brief overview of who I am, but obviously that's like the tip of the iceberg. And yes, you're probably going to get to know me through the episodes a little bit more, through the anecdotes, through the topics I speak to with my guests. That being said, who are going to be my guests? They're going to be different people that I know or I'm meeting throughout my travels. Usually the people that I have been, I already have established some connection, or I am in the middle of establishing one. People I feel comfortable enough speaking to. People who are either interesting to me for whatever reason, or there are topics that I'm inspired to talk to them about. Or, I know they have something potentially interesting to say, or I simply want to explore their personality and their interests. So there's many, many reasons why I could speak to someone. And as I'm talking to you now, I've already recorded a few episodes and they are wildly different from one another. And yes, the topics will vary. So each single person has their own history and their own experiences. And very often I already have some kind of idea what I would like to talk to about with the guest. But as the title might suggest of this podcast, there's no really a script. I have a brief idea of, maybe 2 or 3 topics at most with everybody. But once I start a topic, if it goes its own path, that's totally fine with me. It means it's a natural conversation. And to me, this is a very important part of that podcast. This is not meant to be an interview. I am finding that my guests still feel like they're guests and I'm the host. So not always is also going to be an equal conversation. But I feel like they are relaxed conversations, at least as much as they can be when you're recorded. So yes, I'm also, you might also find some common theme in some of those conversations, particularly because I do have an interest in human brain, in how people think, in the differences between people. I also like to challenge people's perceptions sometimes. So I could be poking, quote unquote, at people a little bit, trying to make them reflect about some things. And sometimes I choose not to do it and I choose to simply listen and I throw in my own thoughts or my own life experiences. I am trying to keep my personality as consistent as possible throughout those episodes and my life because, again, authenticity is important to me. But at the same time, I will naturally react to what's happening. So I am honestly very, excited for it. I am probably underprepared for it. I don't know if you can be prepared for a podcast, honestly. I have obviously no journalism background. You'll see because I say a lot of dumb shit throughout those episodes. And my way of speaking can be quite chaotic and my mind can be all over the place. This is not what you sort of often necessarily encounter when you listen to someone professional. So be prepared, or don't be prepared. Be open. I will, the moment I'm launching this, I will also upload the first episode. It will be with my friend Jose. And yes, I hope you listen to it. It's a long one, but please don't get discouraged. I hope you enjoy it. And yes, I will see you in that episode. And if you have any questions whatsoever or want to say anything to me, I have not set up anything, honestly. I probably should. But if you do know what my contact details are, please message me. Wow, I really should quit this right now as I'm speaking. Anyway, thank you again, and I will see you soon. Bye.